The Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show. Here we go.
Oh yeah, we're live and direct. The Boss and the Sauce Show. How you feeling, Big Ragu?
Top of the morning to you, man. Holiday season. Everybody's belly's full. Hopefully their pockets full after a few football games. Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Not too shabby. My biggest. Well, first of all, how you doing? That's the main question. I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great. We had a great week last week, individually, collectively as a show. We were 17-6 on all the show picks, which we put up in the. If you guys get a chance, make sure you put those picks in the private so I can get them ready to put them up. So yeah, we did really good. So I'm really excited. I'm live from Vegas, the local Vegas bathroom right now. But as you can see behind me, one of my favorite places in the world to play in some sports betting and some horse racing right here at the Orleans, y'all. I'm live, and I had a good day yesterday too, man. I'm up. I hit a couple, I'm in Vegas, so I hit a couple parlays and all the good fun stuff. A teaser, couple straight bets. So it was good. So we on what they say, house money today. So got to do it right. Got to line it up. But I got a ton of picks today, which I really shouldn't in rivalry week because anything can happen. But I don't know. We had such a great week last week, and I think we just have a beat on college football, collectively from doing this over a long period of time. We've caught each other's looks. We've caught looks from the chat. And at this point, we just got a beat going right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to try to score today. And that's it, man. How you feeling with the FSU representing the day? Jordan Travis down, or is Travis Hunter? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but, it's down, man. What's going on over there?
That's tough. That's part of my breakdown later. When we get into the show a little bit, but just off the top, both teams actually. Max Brown's stepping in for Mertz up at Gainesville. He went down last week in their game, and then of course, we all know about Jordan Travis, having the devastating injury of the broke leg, which kind of feel bad for the kid, no doubt about that. But he was having a hell of a season, man. Heisman candidate, rolling. FSU was rolling, they said they're on the boat, but to me, anybody that goes undefeated, all four conferences, if we get four teams that go undefeated, that we could take it right out of the hands of the stupid college playoff system, just let them roll out. But yeah, I think today it's going to be an interesting game to say the least. So, like I said, I'll break it down later.
Nice. I'm glad for the shine to be on your favorite team instead of my favorite team, like it's always. But let's bring in our Who-Bangin Boss and the Sauce Show residence. Since I'm in Vegas, he got a residence here with us. Our guy Wine Time. How you feeling today, Wine Time?
Yes, sir. What's up, boys? How we doing? Happy holidays. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everyone cashed some tickets. Got to spend some good time with the family. Doing good over here. Got to see the family. Got to watch a lot of football. So it's nice to do that. Stoked to be here for Rival Week. Break down some of these games with you guys.
Awesome.
Absolutely. So we got to keep it going. Let me holler out at the cat real quick. My man AT33 from the NC is definitely in the house with us, man. He said he's back. What's this Orleans business? Yeah, live from New Orleans. I'm sitting in your seat right now. Shout out to my man Jay Peasy. I keep forgetting to reach out to you, Jay Peasy. Can we have you on the show next week, championship week?
Get him on.
Great capper. I want to have you on here with us, man. I know you one of my local LA favorites anyhow, and we want to bring you on here for the Boss and the Sauce Show because I know you do your thing. And then our guy Nasty Nate from the fam is in here. Then North Ender is in the house as well. But let's jump right into these games, man, because I've been I've been really been able to take my time and go over things correctly, I believe. And I'm excited to move into this, man. I am definitely excited. So let's jump into the first game right here. Let me get organized here. Here we go. Booyah. Houston at UCF. Now, a few weeks back, all of y'all in the chat and everybody knows we hit a big one on UCF. And it was one of those ones where Big Ragu was lined up on it. Wine Time was all over it. I had no clue. I believe it was an underdog or something like that, but they weren't pretty big that time with UCF. I got the UCF. I crashed with this Houston team a couple times. They show some sparks here and there. I mean, they can score. That's the only thing I can legitimately say for Houston. But break this one down for us, Big Regu. Let us know what's going on with this game.
Hey, that wasn't just a winner. That's how we say in the business. It was a blowout winner, right? 45 to 3 UCF outright last time against Oklahoma State. But today, last week, they had a tough game. They should have won that game. They kind of gave it up to get playoff eligible. Now they're sitting at 5 wins right now. UCF is so they got Houston coming to town. Like you said, Houston, they don't play a ton of defense, but they can score pretty regularly. I like what they're doing lately. Houston's playing a little bit better football. It's senior day for UCF too, and the bounce house today. I think they come away with the win. It's obviously a huge number, right? So how do we go about getting involved with this game? Say, well, do I want to back UCF? Do I want to back Houston? Just total sitting at 60 points, 60 and a half points. I put this one in the chat yesterday, late night. This was a kind of a late ad for me on this spot here. What I've noticed about UCF at home is they've had that. The only really big game that they had in shutdown mode was that game against Oak State. All the other games they played, they've allowed a few points in conference. They played some cupcakes that they kind of took care of handily early in the season, but everybody else has scored multiple, 3 times plus on this team. So it puts me on the Houston total. Like you said, Houston can score. And I think this is going to a game that goes back and forth. The total indicates that. I don't think UCF is going to blow them out 50-10, something like that. But I think we get UCF, gets up in the 30s, and I think we get a little backdoor cover with Houston. But I like the team total better. I've seen it's gone from 21.5 to 23s, depending on where you get it. So put me on Houston team total over 21.5 points.
I love it. I've been doing those team totals and college basketball. It really helped me out. I'm starting to get the vision of how y'all get these team totals out. How about you, Wine Time? You got anything on this one?
I got nothing on this game, guys. Like Big Ragu said, that game against OK State, that was easy money right there. A couple weeks ago, 45-3, big win. On this one, I'm off the side. Definitely lean towards the over. I can see a lot of points scored in this one. I mentioned the quarterback from Houston a couple times. Donovan Smith's pretty good quarterback. Doesn't really have a lot of weapons over there. Really an inconsistent offense, though.
Yeah,
that's why I stayed off this game. I wanted to take the points with Houston because I just think it's a little bit too many. I can see a backdoor cover here, but I'm off this game, guys.
That's what's up, man. Well, shoot, let's keep the show rolling and get on into the next one right here. Oh, this is San Jose State at UNLV. We've been on the UNLV train with poise and pride they showed last week. One thing I really respect from teams is when they can go down and they can come back up and win with their heads high. And that's what UNLV's been doing. And this week they're at home and we're getting a 2.5. The 2.5, it kind of worries me. I think it's like way too low. But then that's the same way I felt last week giving UNLV 2.5. So I'm like, back on the UNLV train right here, -2.5. Full game's probably the best spot in this one because, as we've seen, UNLV has the ability to go down and come up. So I'm not too into what's going to happen in the first half. This San Jose State team, heavy offense. They have a solid defense that's made with a little leadership and stuff like that. Where in this game, I think UNLV has the more athletic defense. They have the better defense in this game, and that's why you got to take UNLV in this spot. They got the better defense, Obviously, they got the better offense. They got a quarterback just sitting in the cut in case another one get hurt. I mean, it's just bananas. If you've been watching, you see the athleticism in them is ridiculous, and they give you a good bang for your buck. So at a low price right here, I'll take it right here. UNLV. Anybody joining me on this one?
What do you think, Juan?
I'm off this one. I'm going to give another side to another game, though, guys. I'm going to give you Tulsa plus 3.5. See it down to plus 3 right now. They're playing East Carolina in East Carolina. I think this is a game Tulsa could win outright. I'm going to take the plus 3 on the road with them, though. A little off the radar type of game. I'm kind of on quite a few off the radar games today, so just going to give out a couple of these games that not a lot of people are looking at, but there's some value in them.
Oh yeah, I found a couple of those too. I like what you're saying right there, and
I'll touch on that UNLV game just briefly.
Oh, go for it. You're the team total over king with UNLV.
Yeah, this is a team that we've been catching nice. Like I said, in conference, they've been putting up some, in the 40s consistently. Right, today might be a little different story for UNLV. We got that lower. If they're hitting 40s and then you see a 59 hanging, that San Jose is going to get their share, but they're going to hold it down just a little bit too also. So that was my point was, San Jose is coming off of 5 straight victories in conference, they're playing them. They could put up some points to themselves. They've hit the 50s and the 40s and the 30s. So it's a high, to me, I would think this would go over somehow or another. But like you said, I think we put it up back on the defensive side in this particular spot here. So I think this is going to be a coaching matchup as far as, who's going to match which on the defensive side here. So that lower number kind of puts me on the under here a little bit, for both of these teams that can score high. So I would lean under here in this spot.
There it is. There. Let's keep the show rolling. Next up, Alabama, Auburn. Alabama 13-point favorite. Alabama has turned on the heat a little bit there, but this Auburn team is really sneaky. They can play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. At times they can look great, and at times they can just kind of lay down. And this is a big rivalry game. They're at home. I'm pretty sure they want to bust Bama in the head. But I'm back on the Alabama first half train because it's hit 2 weeks in a row. This will be the 3rd week in a row right here for me with the Alabama first half. Now they got a tough hook on there too. It's 7.5. I couldn't buy the hook off of the first half, but that just tells you something. The numbers are saying that they scored most of the points in the first half. So I say they have the same mission. They're on the road, and the coach knows you really have to fine tune your team on the road. But it's a crosstown type deal right here. But they're their away team, and I'm going Bama right here first half. That's just I'm just keep rolling with that.
Yeah, it's not a bad look. They've been playing some good football. Like I said on the last show, or maybe even show before that, since they took that L at Texas, this is a team that's been focused. But the good thing about it for the gamblers is if you want to back Bama money, like every week, we always talked about a few years back how we were playing those first halves and they were easy money, and then they kind of make the adjustments, and then they kind of hit a little bit of a skid themselves, with the NIL. Since the NIL came into play, it's been a little different ball game, but Bama's been quietly good. And when I say quietly, I'm just saying, they're not in the national spotlight every week, where they're pumping this team up like they have in the past. But now, I'm thinking you're starting to get a little bit of value on Bama here. And they're on the outside looking in, with the big thing for them is when Oklahoma gets in that game with Texas next week, they got 2 scenarios. They're going to be a one-loss team regardless, but when they play Georgia, they win, they'll probably get in the playoffs. So they want to keep that momentum going. To Auburn's credit, Hugh Freeze has come in there, and I think they've kind of overachieved a little bit. We talked about them early in the season, first-year coach, their win total sitting at 2.5. First-year coach at Auburn this year, but he knows how to coach in the SEC. He's this type of guy that kind of, he's a program builder. And we didn't think he'd come off so quickly, in the W's, and they're talking bowl already, right? So today I think they pumped the brakes on Auburn a little bit. I'm with you on – I like the first half look, but I think Bama wants to keep that steamroller going. And I think, they win by margin today. I think they keep it going. So I'm going to be on Bama full game here.
Yeah, guys, I hate to be on the other side of you guys in the chat I'm seeing right now. I actually pulled the trigger on this this morning. Didn't give it out on Twitter or anything, but it is a 1-unit play. I'm going to add it to my card. I'm going to take Auburn. I bought up to the plus 14 for minus 125. I just see Auburn staying within 2 touchdowns of this game. Auburn's coming off a really bad loss against New Mexico State. Like what Nasty Nate was saying, they were a 25-point favorite, lose the game outright by, I think, 30 points. Freeze has done a pretty good job for his first year in the SEC. I did not think he was going to be sitting here with 6 wins with the last game to go. Chance to have 7 wins, beat the rival in Alabama. This is a big game for Auburn. They know if they beat Alabama here, it kind of ruins Alabama's chances at a playoff spot, having 2 losses. So I don't know if they beat them. I just think that they're going to play their best game of the season and they can stay within these 2 scores. So I'm on the full game plus 14 minus 125.
There it is right there. Shout out to the chat too. My man Nasty Nate is over there. My man Noli Nose just showed up to hang out. We got a nice 3,000 people looking at us right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. We got it going on. But let's keep it rolling, man. Let's keep this thing rolling. I love it when we come up with something that's against each other as well. That way we definitely get a winner on the show.
Yeah, this is not a rehearsed show, folks. By the way, we don't have some guy, putting shit in our ear while we're sitting here talking to you guys. So keep it rolling, like you say.
Absolutely. Let's go to this one, man. This was the one I looked at this one earlier this week. This is one of those spots. It's sort of a bum fight over here in the Big Ten right here. Northwestern, Illinois. I think all the controversy at Northwestern, the pieces have been picked up and they are moving on and doing just fine at this time. Illinois still tiddling the fence. It could be a tricky team. Sometimes they can play way up here and sometimes they could just be flat. But I'm off the game, 5.5. That's one of them crazy lines that has some telltales in it, though. What's the telltales on this one, Big Ragu?
Oh, man. See, when it was funny because the guys don't notice in the chat, but backstage, I told the guys I lost all my notes for the game. And this was one game that I really wanted to kind of get into a whole lot. But all I got to say is this. So they could have thrown in the towel. Right? When I say throwing the towel, like we didn't expect Braun, who took over for Pat Fitzgerald. We had 3 major issues in the Big Ten this year. We had Mel Tucker, we had Pat Fitzgerald was ousted, and then now we got Harbaugh. But early on in the season, I didn't know what to expect with Northwestern, and they turned out to be, they won more games than we thought, just kind of like Auburn did, like Wine was talking about. But he's kind of held the program down, and the kids have played their hearts out for this coach, and they've kind of gelled. So when those situations happen, go one way or the other. Now Illinois, they're catching a few L's here, and Northwestern's, has kind of got hot all of a sudden. I think they reeled off like 3 games in a row. But when I went back and looked at the series, particularly with the Northwestern, a lot of these, whoever's won this game has won by double digits in most cases. And I think Northwestern's a better football team right now. I really do. I think they're playing more of an organized type game where, I think over in Illinois, they're kind of fading a little bit. So I'm going to play an alternate money line on this spot here. I gave it out on Jimmy's show on Wednesday. I took Northwestern -6 at a plus 275 number. So I think Northwestern's very live here, and I want to be rewarded if I'm right. So I'm not going to take the points. I'm going to take them on, like I say, -6 and put that down for 275.
I like that. I like that a lot. I was leaning towards Northwestern too. They've been playing some really good football. Who would have thought that they would be here at the 6 wins? Kind of like Auburn, like I was saying,
Yeah, they're bowl eligible too, right? And then the other
they are. They're 6-5 going into this. They've won 3 out of their last 4. Their one loss was to Iowa by 3 points in a 10-7 battle. They've really bought into this coach. I could only lean the Northwestern side. I see there's 6.5 right now. I might get on that. Haven't moved on it yet. Definitely endorse the Northwestern side, though, in a game I think that they can win outright here on the road.
That's what's up right there. I like the spot, too, but y'all heard it right here first. Only the show probably giving alternative lines at plus 275.
Probably higher than that now. Like mine says, if it's 6.5, you probably get 300 maybe. Shop it before tip if you're going to back it.
Maybe I just take it at 3. I'm gonna just do but I'm gonna take them on the money line. I'm in Vegas. I'm trying to get all the
There
plus
you go.
money I can get.
Take some of that
So,
Boyd money.
yeah, I got to get a little bit of it. Next up, Florida State, big game. We pre-prepped this one earlier in the show. I'm off the game for sure. I leave that Florida business up to the South. How's it going with that one, Big Ragu?
Yeah, well, we all know about Jordan Travis's injury. Devastating injury took with the broke leg. The Gators also lost Mertz last week in their game up to this one. So they got I think it's Max Brown's coming in. They really like this kid. I've been reading about him a little bit. I got to give the edge to Rodemaker, Tate Rodemaker. And for those of you who know Tate Rodemaker is, he's a redshirt junior, and he had that big win at Louisville last year. He came off the bench when Jordan got hurt in that game. He's actually got the highest rating of a quarterback in college football right now. 30 attempts only, very small sample size, but weapons around him, right? So he's kind of fit in the system. They threw him to the Wolves in 2020 as a freshman when Norvell first got there, but trying to get things established with the offense. Then Jordan eventually earned the job. Obviously, he was the guy, but this kid is capable of running this offense. He's not going to be just he's just not going to be a game manager. I expect to see big things. This is going to be his coming out party, guys. And against the Gator, the problem with the Gators is depth. They don't have a ton of depth. FSU does. So I think Rodemaker will be fine here. I think it's going to be a tough game in the swamp. It's always tough to win there with 90,000 maniacs screaming, in Gainesville. But I like Florida State here. I'm not making a fan bet because you know me. I bet against Florida State. I've done it on screen before, but today, go Noles, baby, go Noles.
Quick question though. So do you think this is like a buy low spot on Florida State?
Well, I wouldn't say a buy low spot, but if you get under a touchdown, I would definitely jump on it. I don't know. I haven't looked at the movement on the number. This has been pretty stand pat because I think a lot of people really don't know because of the two starting quarterbacks, the scenario there. But I got to give the big edge to Florida on depth and talent, and even in the quarterback, Rodemaker, like I said, he's very capable of running this offense, and he's been in the system for over 3 years now, so he knows what it's going to take under Norvell to get the job done.
In the words of Noli Knows, under. What you feel about this one, Whiteside? What you think about this one?
I wouldn't. Florida State, they're capable of putting up 30-something themselves today. So I think Florida State's going to score somewhere between 31 and 35 points today. I think the Gators are good for 20-something. So I think we see the numbers. I think if it's 49.
Over. Let's maybe Noli's out the chat. He didn't hear that.
Come on in, Noli.
What you got on that Whiteside?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to stay in my own lane on this one. I don't know too much about these backup quarterbacks in this spot. I stayed off this game right here. It's a short number for Florida State. We've been talking about the last few weeks. All Florida State needs to do is just keep on winning. They got that ACC title game next week. It's going to be against Louisville, I believe.
Yeah,
they just need to win out to get to that playoff spot. It's such sad news about Jordan Travis. Kid's been really good story this year. He's been great. He's a Heisman candidate. It was really going to come down to, I think, him, Penix, and Bo Nix.
Yeah. Don't forget about the guy LSU, man. He's having
Jaden Daniels. We can't forget about him, man. Those stats are out of this world. Like those are just godly type stats. Pretty wild to see, honestly. That's what Joe Burrow was doing a couple of years ago, except they were winning all those games. But
that's the difference, right?
Yeah, but this is gonna be a fun game to watch, Ragu. I'm excited for you to watch this. I hope Florida State gets this win. They just keep on moving up.
There it is right there. And I think we need to go back to Heisman, where it's equal amongst the rest of the players. I'm tired of these quarterback Heisman. Give it to Marvin Harrison Jr.
He's the best athlete, that's for sure.
Here we go. Next up, Clemson in South Carolina. This is a tricky game right here. Dabo Swinney, he trying to come back. Let y'all know, like, don't put no smut on his name. And South Carolina, man, they wake up when they want to wake up. What a disappointment with South Carolina. I expected them to be better this year, but we'd have like the same product we had last year in this spot right here. So if it was up to me, I'd take Clemson, but they always try to get you with that little hook, boy. I'm tired of getting beat by the hook. But if you take a 7, it got to hit 8 for you to cover anyway. But I would flat out take Clemson in this spot. But this is another. It's not Florida, but it's your neighbor right there in the
My second home,
Carolinas.
man. Columbia,
Yeah,
South
so
Carolina. I'm going to pass over to Wine first. I'm going to see if he's got anything on this one.
Yeah, guys, I don't have a play on this one. I've been leaning South Carolina kind of all week in this one. I think, Rattler kind of gets up. He gets up for the certain games. This might be a game he gets up for. I'm not a Spencer Rattler fan. He's been a disappointment for them, honestly, this year. They're 5-6 going into this. 7.5-point dog. I would only lean towards South Carolina in this side. I'm going to stay away from it, though. But I only lean South Carolina in this one, but I'm not going to have a play in this one.
give us the verdict, Big Ragu.
Well, hey, listen, when they pulled off the miracle, to me it was a miracle. When they got Rattler, he was like the biggest grab in the NIL, I thought, when South Carolina grabbed him. And I was really cheering for him because of what he went through at Oklahoma. And disappointed early, but, man, he turned it on late. Big win at Tennessee, big win at Clemson last year to take that game 31-30. And it's been kind of an up and down, mashed up season for him, but he's had some great spots. Same thing for Klubnik. Klubnik has looked awful, and then, he's kind of fired. But both of these teams are coming off of 3 consecutive wins. And, I think Clemson's got a little bit of revenge on their mind. And I don't think we see the game we seen last year, like that 31-30 type of game. I was on Jimmy's show Wednesday, and I bet this at 52.5 on the under. So Noli would be happy about that, right? So now the game's sitting at 49.5. So it's a 3-point move to the under. So now it gets a little tricky, to back that under, because I'm still over, 7 touchdowns, which is a fair amount. But I think both coaches, we've got the same players intact here, same coaching staff, same everything, except it's played in Columbia versus Clemson. So I think, the focus here is going to be on the defensive side for me. And both of these guys are defensive coaches, special teams coaches. Special teams lean towards South Carolina. So this is going to be a trench game tonight. I don't think we're going to see fireworks here. So I would still lean towards the under here. I'm not happy about the 49.5 because, early money, late money, but I still like the under here. I think we see a trench battle. I think we see probably like a closer game. And then that's indicative of the score, too. It was 7.5. You need 2 scores. So you think Clemson either is going to win by a blowout? If Clemson wins by more than margin, this game goes over. If South Carolina covers, it stays under.
Yeah, I think Clemson might get it. I think we didn't give enough credit to Klubnik on that one because Klubnik, he came in as who is this guy,
right,
and now he is the guy over there. So he's really improved, man. That's what we're looking for in this period of the season is players and teams that are on the improving edge, or you might want to step out a dog too.
Hey, you see what Avery said? He said, you're sitting in the seat. It's killing him. You got to order him a Glenlivet scotch. Make it a double.
Yeah, I told him I'm going to put it on his tab too.
There you go. Keep
they got his name
there, so just run it up.
They got his name on the wall right here anyway. Next up is Iowa State and Kansas State. Kansas State off a big game last week versus Kansas. They're -10. The over-under is 45.5. I'm all for improvement. And guess who's been improving? Iowa State. They're coming alive again. They're even known over here in the Big 12 to put in these spoilers right here. So give me the points with Iowa State in this one big time. Now, I'm not as gun-ho on it as Big Ragu to go bet an alternative line. But the defense kicks in today. The total is telling you what's about to happen right now with Iowa State. And they got a chance the whole game along. I couldn't see it. One of those ones that kind of jumped off the page for me. I was on Iowa State before I even started thoroughly looking through it. And then after thoroughly looking through it, I was on Iowa State even more. So Iowa State plus it's down to I got I think at 9.5. It's down to 9.5, but it was 10 when I put this together earlier. Anybody on this game with me?
I like the look for sure. I'm definitely looking towards the under too. I see it's down to 45.5 now. I definitely see Iowa State staying in this game, honestly. I think 10 points is a little bit too much for them. I don't have a play in this one. I'm going to give you guys another play in another game, though. I'm going to look at the Liberty and UTEP game. You know, a little off the. Did I give that one out already? No, I give the Tulsa.
No, you
Liberty
can't.
and UTEP. I took the under 56 minus 110 in this one, guys. I expect a very low scoring game. I have the number around 51. I saw a lot of value in this number. There's a lot of money coming in on the under, and it's not moving too much. It does scare me a little bit, just because I look at that kind of stuff always. But I'm still going to move on it. Took the under 56 minus 110 in a game where I don't think they might not even get to 50.
Nice.
I don't have anything on this game.
Next game up, Cal and UCLA. We talked about this one earlier as well, pre-show. This one kind of jumped off the page too. Cal's been misrepresented all year, if you ask me, and they've played big in some spots. We're not the former Cal undermine that Noli used to use all the time. They score now, so they have a whole different group. They're doing things a little different over there. UCLA, salute to Chip Kelly. His contract got extended. I don't know what that says for this game. We seen the same thing happen earlier this week with who's the other Sam Pittman. He saved his job, but he couldn't save that damn game last night.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
But I think we got the same thing right here. I don't think saving his job has anything to do with him going out. He can't play, so he can't go out and do any. The harm has been done. Whatever he has or doesn't have is what it is now. Nobody's gonna, unless he's gonna just start pulling freshmen off the bench, and say, look at our future. But it's gonna be a rough game right here. UCLA struggles on offense constantly. They have a strong defense. Like I was telling my man Weinstein, I kind of look at UCLA the same way I look at Oregon State. Good defense, weapons on offense, but just can't always put it together. Like they couldn't put it together. That one more touchdown I needed last night to hit my 4-teamer. God damn it. But anyways, Cal, I think they've just been misrepresented. The 9 looks wonderful. As soon as I asked Weinstein, he's our UCLA guy. He's like, man, that 9 is big. UCLA leaves the back door open a lot. And this Cal team is going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And UCLA, I think they can hold them off, but maybe it comes down to a field goal or, a 6-point lead with them getting ready to try to score and an interception or something to end the game right there. But this game right here, it could go over as well, because when I look back and I looked at all the teams that Cal played, even when they played Oregon State, they put up like 40 points or something like that. But I also just added Cal team total over 20.5. When I looked at the game, I said an easy 3 touchdowns for Cal. So team total over 20.5 with Cal and Cal plus 9 in this one. Anybody else got anything you want to touch on that, Weinstein?
Yeah, I do have a play on this UCLA game. I gave it on Twitter. It's a little money line parlay. I took LSU on the money line. I took Arizona against Arizona State on the money line, and I took UCLA on the money line. Got about minus 125. Pretty good odds on that one in 3 games, and I expect all of them to win. UCLA, this is a kind of a high spread for them to cover. They come in off a big win against USC. That was their Super Bowl. Chip Kelly was talking about all week, like this is the game. Like, this is our game. We need to win this. We're going to be prepared for it. That being said, they had their fun after the game. They partied a little bit, got back to practice this week. They're playing the bigger brother in Cal. 2 of the, I guess you could say the top 2 public schools in the nation, educational wise. And it's going to be a big one because Cal has struggled against UCLA in the recent years. And last year, Cal almost got UCLA in the last game of the season. It was on Black Friday last year, and they almost got him. I believe UCLA won that game, I think 3 points or something. It was a really close one. Wilcox is kind of fighting for his job. This Cal team wasn't expected to win 5 or 6 games this year. They're sitting here at 5-6. With the win here, they're bowl eligible. They're going to give UCLA their best shot. I don't think they win this game. I can see them staying within this points, but I was safe. I just took UCLA in the money line to parlay. Just going to root for them to win. That's it. This UCLA offense is really consistent. We've talked about it. They always have different quarterbacks in. They don't know if they want to use the run. They don't know if they want to pass, depending on who's in. So it's really tough to cap their games because you never know who's really going to be in there. I believe Garbers is the guy, but we truly don't know. Chip Kelly all week in practice doesn't say if anyone's hurt or not. When they started Schlee a couple weeks ago, they had no idea. Everyone thought they were going to start Garbers or more. So you don't really know with this team. So that's what I have to say about this one. I hope UCLA wins. I hope DJ covers, though, and he gets that over 20.5. Hope UCLA wins a nail biter.
There it is. There, Big Ragu. You coming to the West Coast for this?
I'm staying on the East Coast on this one.
I figured that.
Although I love me some Pac-12. Pac-12's been a lot of fun this year, guys. I mean, this is a swan song game, right, for most of these matchups. So we'll see what happens here, brother. But yeah, didn't you say UCLA retained Chip Kelly?
Yeah, they did.
They did, yeah. You know, there's nothing official, but I mean, there's no talk about him getting fired now. Yeah.
He needs to be on the West Coast. He needs to be on the West Coast.
This is from the unders himself. Said he thinks this UCLA sneaks over. That's a shout out to RVD 420. Good morning to you. He
That's
says
all on Cal's
over
back
as
for the
well.
over.
We got 2 overs out the chat on this one. I might get to the window with that later on. It's late in the day, guys. 7:30. You're probably not going. You're either going to be rich by then, or you're going to be eating out the trash.
Leftover turkey.
But let's keep it moving though. Colorado State, Hawaii. This is even later than that. 8 p.m. Mountain West, where I do it the best. I think this is super jumps off the page to me. I'm probably going to end a couple parlays in Colorado State money line. No way do I see this team goes to Hawaii and cuts up like that. They have a solid defensive line over here at Colorado State. They could cover the ball as well. Hawaii is horrible. And now they did get tapped on in Wyoming last week, which I gave out on the show, but it was the travel way over there, to play Wyoming. Could you imagine coming from the tropical Hawaii and 6 hours later or something, you in 38 degrees in Wyoming or something? Like, it was bananas. But Hawaii's back home, so it looks a little better, but they don't really have nothing going for them on offense or defense this year. And this Colorado State team is a lot better than they look on paper. And they just improved. I forget his name, but the defensive lineman is we seen him in the Colorado game. I forget that guy's name, but he is a beast, and he's gonna give quarterbacks a problem. And Hawaii can't really run the ball like that. And when Colorado State's offense is clicking, it works like a well-oiled machine. The coach is an offensive coach anyway. I don't even know where he got this defense from, but he has a defense to match with the offense. And this probably be a blowout by Colorado State. The 5.5, you already know that's the magic weary number. And I don't see Hawaii hanging around in this game for too long. I'm sure nobody else is on this.
I'm not on this one, guys. I'll give it something else, though.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can spit out all your plays because after this, cause that's the last one that we had. After this, I'm gonna show everybody's plays. Let me get Big Ragu's in there. But go ahead. You can go ahead and spit out your plays. And here I'll put it.
Yeah, guys. I already gave out earlier. Tulsa plus 3.5. I took the Liberty and UTEP under 56. Moving down the list a little bit now, we're gonna look at this Georgia State and Old Dominion game. I got the under 53 minus 110. I see it's down to 51 right now. It's dropped a couple points in the last 24 hours. I still endorse it, not as much though. Also moved on the New Mexico. I'm kind of on the unders today in these under the radar type games. New Mexico State game, I took the under 50 minus 110 in that one as well. I'm looking at Arkansas State plus 2 against Marshall. I see it down to plus 1.5 now. I think they win the game outright. It's in Marshall, but I do think they win the game outright. Still endorse the 1.5. I took LSU, Arizona, UCLA money line parlay minus 125. And then I'm looking at this Georgia Tech game. I'm looking at more of a lower scoring type of game. I got the under 60 minus 115 in this one, down to 59.5. I still endorse it. Those are my plays for today, guys. Those are my 7 plays.
There you go, right there for all y'all that's in here. Write it down. It's on there. You can come back and view it as well. We're gonna keep going down the line and have Big Ragu put his up for the day. Big Ragu, review these for him. Big Ragu.
Oh yeah, so we got Clemson, South Carolina under 52.5, which is now sitting at 49.5. So to be fair, for show purposes, I'm still going to endorse the 49.5. It's a little sketchier, but I'll do that. The Houston total in the UCF game over 21.5. That one, FSU minus 6.5 in the Swamp. Bama full game. I know Boss is on the first half, which I think your first half number is sitting at like 7.5, 7 points. You can get it, a little juice that way. But I'm on the 13.5 full game, and I'm going to take that Northwestern spot, make them the favorite by 6 instead of getting 5.5 or whatever they're getting 6 points. Take that at a plus 295, which I found at Caesars. And then we got to touch. We can't get out here without talking about the Ohio State Michigan game, right? Anybody got any thoughts?
Oh yeah. We're gonna do those too. I'm gonna roll back our plays, then we're gonna go into the.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, my
ones
bad.
We ain't went over real quick, but there you go, Big Ragu's pick. My picks today: UNLV -2. I love it. Alabama first half -5 is just a repetitive cycle bet, and it has a good look today as well. It's a 2-0 so far for me. And then Iowa State plus 9.5, and Cal plus 9.5, and Cal team total over 20.5. And late night Colorado State -5.5. Those are my plays for the day. But it's only I was going through the games that's left, but it's only a few games left. Our guys here. Let me get Ramone in here.
Oh yeah.
What up, Ramone?
Trouble's here. Trouble made it.
Here.
Trouble made it. Wine time. Big Boss. I mean, I got to get the scoop. What did you just say? I just got here. Wine time. Last week you had Chip Kelly fired. A week later, field.
Yeah. They got the dub. I was stoked on it. Part of me wanted Chip Kelly gone, but after seeing that, I think Chip Kelly kind of represents what UCLA is about, on and off the field. I like the guy, honestly. I hear his interviews. He's not always the nicest, happiest guy, but it seems like he really cares about his kids. You know what I mean? Really molds them into young men. So, I don't know. I like what he's doing over there in Westwood. So I'm stoked that he's going to come back.
I'm sorry I missed. Did you make a call on the game today? Because
I took the money line parlay along with Arizona money line and LSU. It was -125 for the 3. Just a little something. They're all high money line favorites, but I did give it out on Twitter. I do like it a lot.
Okay, fair enough. Again, I worry about when you got the baby Bears against the a Cal team that this could be their signature game if they would get something done. I don't know if things will change for Chip if there's an upset today. We'll go back the other way here. But guys, great to be with you today on Rivalry Saturday.
Yep. Hey, how about I give you a minute, Ramone, to put your plays in the private chat so I can get them up when you give them out. But I want to talk about this one that Noli Knows just happened to put this in the chat. It was unbelievable that he just put this there. This is the only bet that I have to run down to the window and put in before the game, after we get out this show. And that's NIU Kent State. So this is something I was going to kind of plug into the show for next year after week 6. And this is turning the stats upside down. So I turned the stats upside down on here by touchdowns per game. Kent State is 132 in college football at 1.1 touchdown per game. So it looks wide open versus an NIU team who's a run first team automatic at NIU. So it was I'm putting in first half under, and I'm also going to put full game under as well on this one right here. It's just one Weinstein said, it's a lot of little looks that everybody's not paying attention to, and I think this is one of them right here. So just wanted to touch on that. But back to you, Ramone. You ready to give them your scoop today?
Yeah, I got 3 games I've typed in for you. Maybe I'll touch on one more that I haven't talked to me. Also, if I can, Big Boss, I'm going to bring in the brackets. I'll share if you can get them. If not, maybe I could just describe them. But I want to maybe catch everybody up to where it stands. We're heading into the playoffs today in the BCS. So we do have important matchups here coming up today. We're down, there are teams that received a bye this week. The top seeds received a bye. And so are the matchups will come here today. There are 8 games. The top seed in the FCS playoffs is South Dakota State. Even I'm sure that doesn't surprise even casual viewers here. And I do have my 3 plays up there. I don't know if you can grab them in the comments as well, but I'll start off here. Yeah, there you go. With Sacramento State and North Dakota. Got a hour to breathe here yet. We don't have any noontime starts today. The playoff games will start at 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific. So Sacramento State and North Dakota. I'm going to go under 57 here. Sacramento State is 2-4 to the under on the road this season. In this one, the winner of this one will take on South Dakota in the next round. Also, I have Chattanooga here plus 6.5. You might be able to get 7 out there right now. Chattanooga was 2-1 as an underdog this season. Here they are. They're going to get the points from Austin Peay. Peay's 9-2. Certainly pretty good again this year. Chattanooga 7-4 here. I'm going to take the points here though with Chattanooga. And Youngstown over Duquesne here. Might be. One thing I always do, Big Boss, on the shows now, you know how, no disrespect to all of our colleagues, we're trying to find the best line. I encourage you to find the best line, of course. We all know to do the shopping. I actually always try to list the worst line on the screen when I make plays, because why not? Why not give someone confidence when they head to the window, they find an extra half a point? This actually probably is 21 now. Just got steamed, I'm afraid. Youngstown, they should blow out Duquesne the way I'm seeing it. Both teams are 7-4 here coming in, but I've got Youngstown. This is Youngstown after all. If you guys follow a little bit, Duquesne, nice season, certainly good, decent team. I got Youngstown to blow them out. There are other games today. Maybe I'll just mention Lafayette and Delaware, NC Central and Richmond, Gardner-Webb and Mercer, Nichols and Southern Illinois, Drake and North Dakota State. Drake and North Dakota State is probably the biggest mover of the week. North Dakota State will crush them. It opened 31, which was juicy, but it's up to 38 now. Can't recommend it, but I certainly think North Dakota State hammers Drake. So with that set, the other teams, just want to mention South Dakota State gets a bye. They're the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed is Montana. And I know you're going to be looking for a pick here from me, and I'm going to go with the Grizz to win it all and somehow find a way to beat that powerful South Dakota State team. That'll be my futures pick here in this field. I actually didn't see any odds. I didn't look around too much, but I was going to add that part to my show, to my picks with you. But also my favorite team to watch in this postseason in the FC. Thank you. There. Let me go ahead. Thank you, Big Boss. Let me scroll there. This is the top side of the bracket. Hopefully you can see it there. You see South Dakota State, South Dakota on the other side. Montana State. They're the team that I'm going to be looking out for here. The winner, whoever Drake and North Dakota State come out of there, I like Montana State here to win, and then I like them to upset South Dakota should they advance. They're gonna have to play games. And the bottom of the bracket here, see Montana there, the number 2. Hey, you ever watch games in Montana in December? Time home field advantage, especially if they can get some of that white stuff on the ground. Yeah, maybe against Lafayette and Delaware it won't be a total surprise, but man, watching Montana games in 3 inches of snow is fun. And Furman, Idaho, Albany, they're the teams with the byes. That's a look at the bracket. That's your FCS coverage, Big Boss.
There it is, right?
I like
there,
it.
man.
I like it.
And as to those big numbers, my uncle used to tell me way back in the day when we used to do the little parlay cards to the bookie and all that kind of stuff. He said, you know why that number's so high? Because they couldn't put it no higher. So take the team minus the high points all the time, especially late in the season. It's late in the season, you got to remember always the book job to bring people in on both sides of the bet. But sometimes, there's a psychological factor that they have to put in there to, just to try to get them in on the other side. So, yeah. Shout
Big
out
Boss,
to my man Ramone.
as a guy who used to run a few parlay cards back in the day, I don't think we do it quite the way we used to back in the day, but as someone who ran a few parlay cards, hey, if you want to play the stale lines, on my parlay cards, you can, but you got to pay me back in the day, a lot of credit betting, right? You could play the stale lines for up to $100, but you got to give me that C note when you give me the card. You got to at least do me a favor there. I'll let you play that stale line, but give me the money first on those.
There you go. Look, there you go. A trick from the book handed out right there. Let's jump into these other games because I got to go put this bet in. Nose just sent me a sign that said, "Go put the bet in." But first up, let's talk about the biggest game of the day right here. Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan minus 3.5. Let me hear from the chat. I know all of y'all got y'all opinion. Probably 3% of y'all getting to the window with it. It's just such a big game, and there's so much more on the card today to be messing with this game unless you a fan of one of the teams. But as much as I don't like Ryan Day for talking about Lou Holtz, I'm gonna have to take the underdog in this game today. Ohio State, they got Marvin Harrison Jr. over there, and he's gonna give Michigan's secondary a run for their money. They're not gonna shut him down, so everybody's gonna have to come to the board. It could lean over in this oddly, even though both of these teams are big time under teams. But sometimes I used to say this about 3 or 4 years ago. Big Ragu will tell you when two teams are kind of like equal, it equals the opposite. So two fast-paced throwing teams equals an under, and two tight under teams can also equal over. But the under is more stronger to stand under than the over. But anyways, I'm gonna put a little something in on Ohio State plus the points. My son's an Ohio State fan. Maybe I get to watch the game with him out here. And this Michigan team, I like them, but the offense has always been just bland potato salad for the offense for Michigan. And I don't know if that's going to make the mark today. They need to bring that defense with some offense to get past this Ohio State game. But I'll tell you a trick of a trade that my son, being a fan, always told me. He said Ohio State only starts off either if they start off slow, they come strong in the second half, or if they start off fast, then they can slow down in the second half. So if you're a live better, then test the water, see what it's looking like. That's my take. Who's next?
Yeah, I got a little something on this one as well. I did. I took another parlay. Yesterday. I took Oregon money line against Oregon State, and I parlayed it with Michigan money line today. I didn't want to take Michigan money line straight. I didn't want to take 3.5 either. I do see it's down to a 3. I took it last night though. I need Michigan to win this game outright. It could be by 1, 2, or 3. I am on Michigan in this one. I just think that they're the better team and they're playing at home. I don't know. I like Michigan in this spot. I think they finally get Ohio State. I think this is the game they get Ohio State, and they make a run at this Final Four. I don't know. I like this Michigan team. They've been playing well all year. They haven't had the toughest schedule, no, but they've been kind of blowing these teams out the waters every time they play them. So I'm going to lean on Michigan money line in this one. Nothing straight, you know what I mean? I wouldn't give out the minus 160 straight, but it's in my parlay.
Yeah, that's pretty square, minus 160. But
hey,
that's the look I got on it, is the square look here. I mean, just basically, it's been they're going for the third in a row. I think they finally cracked the code how to beat this Ohio State team. We know Ohio State's loaded and always loaded with skill position players at the wide, especially at the wide receiver spot. You know, with what they've had over year in year out, and quarterbacks are usually pretty good too. But I think they're a little lacking in other areas. But nonetheless, I mean, this is the matchup they've dreamed of every year. They got it. You know, they promoted it all season long, and whoever loses this game goes bye-bye to the college playoff. So it's the game of the year so far, you know, which I think it should be billed that way. And hey, just to talk about the total, I mean, the original number on this game was Michigan won in 63.5. So that shows you how the defense is. You know, 7.5 points a game is whatever they're giving up. But I'd be interested. I tell you what, I'd be interested in is an Ohio State team total over here possibly. You know, we're sitting at 20.5. That might be a look here.
Okay, well, those are all really contrasting to a certain extent from all of you. Pretty interesting. Yeah, that look-ahead line is interesting to note that total was so high. You look at right now, if it's going to go Big Boss's way, I would think under. Ohio State 7-1 to the 1-7 to the under in their last 8 games. They've been a strong under team, but Michigan, we think of that defense. 6 of their last 7 games have gone over. So I'll side with the total here, and I'll edge with Big Boss. I'm going to take this under. It looks to me like the move's on the over today, guys. A little bit crawling back up here to a 46 or so. Still a low number. Hey, it's not Iowa and Nebraska low, but I'll go under.
Yeah. Nothing's ever going to be that low.
Under for me as the play. Big Boss. I do expect Michigan. I'll go with the total. I mean, you guys are kind of back and forth. It's gonna be an awesome game. Can't wait.
Hey, I'm going with our guy, Big AT33 NC. He says Ohio State all the way. Just so y'all know, if y'all been keeping track with the show and the chat, but he brought you Georgia in some big games 2 times already. Now today he's giving us Ohio State, and I'm putting that in when I get downstairs as well because I'm sitting in the man's seat anyways.
And Brian said in the chat there, Big Boss, past years have been, you think of this, I don't know if anybody really looked at last year, 68 points, year before that, 69 points, year before that, 83 points, year before that, 101.
Jeez.
Last 4 years. I mean, all those are smashing this number, but obviously, like Big Boss, like Ragu said, that early summer look ahead, 57 and what 59?
You know what this game has a feel to me of? Not the same outcome or the same style of play, but as far as looking at a total, all the sharps were smashing the friggin' Texas over. Who was on the under? Who was on the over? Over, baby. Get to the window.
Okay, all right.
Let's jump to this next one right here.
Get out of here.
My man Weinstein does have a pick in this game right here, but this is another game that I won. And so, on the contrary to the Kent State game with touchdowns per game, LSU is on the opposite side. I think they're like 4 point something with touchdowns a game, so they expected to just score 28 off top. Paying this Texas A&M team with a lot of controversy right here. I could see a money line putting LSU in the money line on this one, but I don't know. It's probably not worth messing up a good money line par if my man Brian Kelly fails us in a big game again. So that's my take on this one. Anybody else got something on this one?
Yeah, I just think LSU, it's just such a mismatch in here. I know Texas A&M, they've got a good defense. I just don't know if they're going to have many answers for Jaden Daniels. And I don't know how much they're going to – I know LSU's got a struggling defense, but Texas A&M's offense ain't anything to write home about. So I did take LSU on the money line in this one in a little parlay with Arizona and UCLA. I got minus 125 on it. I usually give out like a 2 or 3 team money line parlay, kind of higher favorites every week. I like doing it. Usually hit these at a high rate too. So I'm going to be rooting for LSU in this one. Jaden Daniels is really trying to get that Heisman. You know, I expect him to probably throw up over 400 all-purpose yards today, throwing it on the ground. He's really going to want to try to make a case at the Heisman, even though they're going to be a 3-loss team at the end of the year. But LSU on the money line in this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else with anything on this one?
Oh, forget. I mean, I'll lay it. I'll lay it with Daniels. Looks like A&M. They'll have to go with Jalen Henderson. He's been in there a little bit. Henderson at quarterback. No Max Johnson. We know Wegman's out, so Henderson is in there today at quarterback. Compare him to Jaden Daniels, 400 yards for Henderson in limited action, 4 TDs, 1 interception. Daniels, 3,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. LSU's won 5 of their last 6, scoring 48 points in those wins. So they've had over 500 yards in 9 of their last 10 games. Blah, blah, blah. LSU 8-2 against the spread as a home favorite. And, pretty good run for Coach Kelly down here with LSU, and LSU's covered 36 of their last 58 games in conference. So LSU to roll here, A&M, trying to just get some offense. I'll lay the points.
They finally cracked the code on the LSU overs. Was it last week or the week before? So that came to a screeching halt.
Yeah, 10-1 though, still, Ragu.
Yeah. No, I know. We were all over the LSU overs for a bit.
A&M 3-1 against the spread on the road this year. 3-1. I'm sorry, 3-1 to the over on the road.
Yeah. No, Happy Valley. Definitely say Happy Valley. Death Valley opposite, right? Death Valley tonight. I still endorse the LSU side though. I think so. That's a rudderless team right now. A&M, with Fisher gone and just. They're going to fold up tent. They're not. I think their spirit's broke. I think LSU rolls here. I'm not betting it officially, but I think they roll. Who's going to stop Daniels?
The storylines. I've said it before. I'm a big fan. Hope he can. I'm not sure that slight of build. I'm a little bit worried about his prospects in the future, but sure, I'm going to be rooting for him.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's a Southern Cal kid too.
Cajon Cowboys, Big Boss Cajon Cowboys.
Yep. And this one shouldn't have made the cut, but I've seen a couple questions in the chat about this one. To me, there's no other way to go but Louisville. Louisville is, like I said in a couple shows back, they kind of sit as the TCU of last year. This year. So I think that they continue to apply pressure. When you have one of those groups that just plays that well, they just play that well. So I like Louisville in this spot. I think Kentucky, that was some fake jewelry they sold with Kentucky, thinking that they were going to be one way, but then they kind of mediocre. But it's just typical in the SEC. You got the top 5 in the SEC and everybody else is just mid all the way down. So I think Louisville runs away with this one. Big Ragu probably knows a little more than me about this one, huh, Big Ragu?
Well, all I know is this: Jeff Brom's a hell of a football coach. I'll tell you that right now. And he knows how to run an offense, and he knows how to get the team fired up. Now, Stoops is one on the short list. His name that's coming up for the A&M job too. So we'll see what happens there. Longer term after this game. But their seasons kind of went sideways. Not the season they were hoping for, but this is like the 11th. They have an opportunity for 11 wins this season, and they got Florida State on deck in the ACC championship game. So they want to keep some positive momentum. I see a competitive game played by Kentucky to play maybe like a little bit of a spoiler role, maybe possibly, but I think Louisville keeps things intact. They've been averaging like 30 points a game here. Will they get that against Kentucky? Maybe not. But last year, and there's a little revenge here too. So Louisville lost this game last year, 26-13. So keep that in the back of your mind. But I'm going to be off of this spot.
I'll take it over though with piggybacking though on what you said. Kentucky, they've had some pretty bad performances, giving up points, 51, 38, 33 here, and mentioned that 6 of the last 8 Kentucky games have gone over, and with that Louisville offense.
Yeah.
Hey, be careful what you wish for, A&M, with Coach Stoops. We'll see. I mean, he hasn't covered a lot of numbers necessarily. He's been an under 500 spread coach in the SEC, while Brom, who knows what the future holds for him. 33-28 against the spread at home as a coach in his career. You got to figure the Cardinals. I will also mention ACC home favorites here. This is a non-conference game, obviously the rivalry game. ACC home favorites 9-5 against the spread against non-conference opposition this season. I'll go over though for sure.
Yeah, I like that look.
Yeah, I'm off this one, guys. I'm very impressed by Louisville this year. The transfer Jack Plummer coming in, not having to do too much, really game manage, not to make too many mistakes. Sitting here, about to be 11-1. Brom's done a really good job over there in Louisville. He was one of the guys I was maybe hoping he'd come over to Westwood if we were going to get rid of Chip. But he's a good coach. I like him over there. I think they win this game. I don't have anything on it. Big game for people out there in Kentucky, though, because this is a big rivalry for them out there. So it is in Louisville. They've got one of the best home crowds in college football. I definitely lean the Louisville side.
That's what's up right there. Shout out to the chat showing us some love, man. I appreciate the love. We got a high number in here. Probably one of the highest numbers we had on live in a while. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all of our I can't even call y'all guests no more because it's like you guys are just a part of the show. But this show was created by the people. This is what the people wanted. So we gave the people exactly what they wanted with this one. So I appreciate everybody for showing up. I'm gonna run through those numbers one more time just for the chat. Let me start with our guy Ramone. Ramone has a what's that? Sacramento versus
Sac State, yeah, Sac
Sacramento
State, North Dakota.
North Dakota under 57. Chattanooga plus 6.5 over Austin Pay. That 6.5 over Austin Pay, right? And then Youngstown minus 19
Yeah,
over Duquesne.
that's 21 there at the end. If I can, Big Boss, you do see the slash there. I was going to add one more, but since that line's a little high for Youngstown, everybody's a little trepidation there with 21. I'll also recommend Youngstown and Duquesne over 62.5.
And back to wine time right here with this huge card he got today.
Copy and paste that, guys.
Oh yeah, wow.
Liberty plus
that right now.
3.5. UTEP under 56. State and ODU under 53.
G-State, yeah, my bad.
New Mexico State and Jacksonville State under 50. Georgia Tech under 60. Arkansas, what is that? Arkansas State plus 2. LSU, Arizona, UCLA money line. I'm going to steal that LSU and that Arizona from you off of that. And I'm adding Louisville to that too. And I'm seeing how many more I can add for a good Las Vegas style money line parlay. Let's go to Big Ragu picks. Clemson, South Carolina under 52. Houston, team total over 21.5. FSU, I'm going to steal that one from you, Big Ragu. FSU on the money line. FSU minus 6.5. Bama minus 13. Northwestern alternative line minus 6 plus 295. And it's probably more now, but you did hear it here first. I'm systematically jumping back on UNLV, plus they're the greater team. Systematically jumping back on Alabama first half. Taking Iowa State plus the 9.5. Cal plus the 9.5. And Cal team total over 20.5. And then I got, for the nice late night hype, Colorado State minus 5.5. And I'm also going to have them on the money line. So that was the picks here, folks. Any of y'all got anything to say to the people out there?
Just a big shout out to our famous chat, Paco, East County Sports Network,
That's
Charlie
me.
Richards, you name it, Dommy Gun, of course, Smoking Mirrors, Res Mob, Avery, Brian. We appreciate all you guys. And, of course, we can't forget about our guys in Georgia that are sitting out in the barn listening to us, Stardust Mike and Jimmy Vegas.
Absolutely, man.
Heck yeah, guys.
So,
thanks for having me on, guys. It's always a blast being on here with you guys talking college football. We've got conference championships next Saturday, so we got something to look forward to next week. I'm really excited for that. Always a blessing to be here with you guys, learn from you guys, pick your guys' brains. Good luck to all you guys on your bets today. Shout out to the chat, everyone in there. We're nothing without you guys. Keep showing out, hitting that like button, share the video. Let's get some people in here, man.
There it is there, man. How about you, Ramone?
No, thanks, guys. Again, I came in middle of the season, so I feel like there. Thank you for putting that on screen as well. That's me right there, just using a different account. My burner, I guess. Me watching my high school teams. But anyways, just appreciate it and appreciate everyone in the chat. Look like to see all those familiar names, and I'm glad you got a live hits record. I only show up to the shows that have popular numbers in their shows. Okay, yeah,
you got positivity going.
Absolutely, man. I just want to say, man, it's been a blessing. It's been wonderful working with y'all all year. We got the championship week. We got some bowl games. We're just gonna continue to have fun, do some more fun stuff, showing up, giving out some winners from the bottom of our heart, man. That's what we do here, man. So I'm gonna send everybody off, and I'm gonna run down to that window and go put in these bets. Appreciate everybody for joining. And
I got one last word for you guys, man.
Let's go.
Hey, one thing I must say about this show, it's been a great vibe each and every Saturday going into the games, working with you guys. We out of here.